Bakeries have a few special tricks they use to get it perfect. So today, we're making cinnamon rolls and going through all the secret tricks that the bakeries won't tell you. The first mistake? Using dead yeast. To avoid that, we're going to test our yeast by blooming it. In a small bowl, add 1 cup of warm water. Then sprinkle in 1 teaspoon of yeast and 1 teaspoon of sugar. Let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. If it starts foaming, your yeast is alive. If not, it's probably dead. In a small saucepan, over medium heat, add a half cup or 1 stick of butter and then 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is amazing. It's packed with protein and fat, all in a condensed form. Whisk it together. Don't use a spatula. It's going to be really frustrating if you do. Once fully combined, remove it from the heat and transfer it to a mixing bowl. Now here's where I messed up. I forgot to add a half cup of whole milk while it was still on the stove. So I'm adding it now and mixing it in cold. Ideally though, you'd add it while the yogurt mixture is still warm so the milk incorporates better. Now add in 7 grams or 1 packet of active instant yeast, the one we just tested. Since it's instant yeast, you can add it directly. Just make sure it gets fully hydrated by mixing it into the liquid first. Now for the dry ingredients, add 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a half cup of granulated sugar, 1 3/4 teaspoon of fine sea salt, and finally, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. You might ask, if we're using yeast, why the baking soda? And that's a great question. The baking soda in this case actually helps with the browning in the oven, not the rising. And trust me, even just a 1/4 teaspoon makes a big difference. Time to knead the dough. First, use a spatula to bring it together into a shaggy mess. Then go in with your hands to bring it into a full dough. We're not kneading it yet. We're letting the gluten hydrate first. Cover it and let it rest for 15 minutes. After that, it's time for the real kneading. I recommend a stand mixer with a dough hook, but if you don't have one, you can totally knead it by hand. Just be ready for a workout. It might take up to 20 minutes. We're aiming for a completely smooth dough that passes the Windowpane test. To do that, stretch a piece thin, and if you can see light through it without it tearing, you're good. Now let's bulk ferment it. Leave the dough in a warm space until it doubles in size, about 90 minutes. While that's proofing, let's make our cinnamon butter spread. In a small bowl, combine 1 stick of softened unsalted butter, a 2/3 cup of brown sugar, 2.5 tablespoons of cinnamon, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Mix it together until it's fully combined. Then mix it a bit more to whip it up slightly. This makes it even smoother and much easier to spread. Back to the dough. After 90 minutes, it should be puffed up. Turn it out onto a floured surface and press it gently into a rectangle. If you learned something new in this video, then I highly suggest you subscribe so you don't miss all future videos like these. Then roll it out to about a 1/2 inch thickness. I recommend using a rolling pin, but if not, a spray bottle will work as well. Now add dollops of that cinnamon spread in each corner. Then use a spatula to spread it evenly over the entire surface. Make sure to cover every edge. This gives you those gooey, caramely layers inside. If you are enjoying this video so far, give it a like so others can see it as well. Now time to roll. I roll mine short side to short side. That gives you more, smaller cinnamon rolls. If you prefer bigger cinnamon rolls, then roll it the long way. Once rolled, pinch the seam shut to prevent the filling from leaking. Time to cut them. There's a lot of options. There's a serrated knife, a regular knife, and some even say to use dental floss. I tested all of them. Now before you even cut them, score the dough to mark the size of the rolls you would like. Now for our cutting methods, the worst option was the regular knife. Even if it's sharp, it squishes and tears the dough. Moving on to the floss was actually surprisingly decent, but it pulled the dough too much. So the winner, a wet serrated knife. It cuts cleanly without deflating the rolls or ruining its shape. Lightly oil a 9 by 9 inch pan, including the sides and indents. Place 6 to 9 rolls depending on the size inside your pan. If you're wondering why I'm going out of order here, It's simply just because I'm trying to get the same size rolls near each other. Cover with plastic wrap and let it proof for 30 more minutes. Before they hit the oven, pour a little heavy cream over the top. This keeps the inside soft and creates that caramelized bottom. Cover with foil and bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 35 minutes. Then remove the foil. Carefully, it's hot. Don't be me, use an oven mitt. Then bake uncovered for another 10 to 15 minutes until golden brown. Let me know in the comments below, what's your favorite bakery item? Is it cinnamon rolls or something else? Lastly, time for the cream cheese frosting. In a bowl, mix 2.5 tablespoons of cream cheese, a 1/3 cup heavy cream, a pinch of salt, and 1 1/4 cups confectioner's sugar. Whisk it all together until smooth. If you prefer it thicker, add a bit more confectioner's sugar. Alternatively, for a thinner icing, add a bit more cream. Now for the finale. Pour the frosting all over the cinnamon rolls. If you're like me, you want them absolutely smothered. If you enjoyed this video, then I am sure you would like the video that just popped up on how to make sourdough at home for beginners.